All right, let's do some Mathity-Math. We've already done part A. If you want to see how I got the point cubed intersection, then please go back to the previous video. I'll put a link somewhere here. Maybe it's like right there. I don't know. Okay, but now we're moving on to part B. So now what it says here is find the acute angle that the above lines construct to the nearest degree. So the question gave us these two lines, and we've already established that this is the x row, the y row, and the z row, x, y, z. And so now what we want to do is think about that these two, well, let's go ahead and draw a sketch again. So think about that these two vectors, right? These two vectors are coming together, they're intersecting, we established that point Q. Okay, and when they intersect here, so this is line 1, we'll call this line 2, they do form an angle. We can call that angle theta. So the question is asking us to find, well, what is the acute value of that angle theta? Okay, no problem. Actually, we can do it right here. We have everything we need. So the formula we're going to use here is cosine theta is equal to, and the formula they give is a times b, and these are vectors, all divided by the magnitude of a times the magnitude of vector b, right? And so there are like a couple little thoughts kind of embodied here, and I'll really try to break it down step by step for you, okay? So if we just kind of took what we had and substituted in, you can think of this. We'll use this. I'll draw a little thing up here. This is like L1, and this is L2, and they're kind of moving in this zone. So this zone right here is like my L1 zone, and this is like my L2 zone. So I'm going to use these values to fill it in. So when you are multiplying these vectors, what you do is you take the line portion or the directional portion of it right here, and this one right here, and that's the part you're multiplying. These are just points on the vector, so we're actually not going to use these for this part. We're just going to use these parts right here, the parts that are getting multiplied. Okay, so I'm actually just going to fill this in really big and really clear, and make it pretty obvious here. So if I say cosine theta is, okay, so for A, I'm actually going to draw the whole thing. Shoo! It's going to be 2, 2, 2. Okay, makes sense? Cool. And I'm going to multiply that by the B over here. We're going to say -4, 6, 10. Straight up copying, right? 2, 2, 2, 10, 10. Wonderful. Okay, and then it's all going to be divided by the magnitude. Now, when we find the magnitude here, essentially what you do is you take the square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. It's going to look like this. I'll put parentheses here just so we don't get it all mixed up. Square root. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop there. I'll extend it once I finish writing. Something I've learned here. So I got my x value is 2, so that's 2 squared plus 2 squared plus 2 squared. Okay. There we go. And I'm gonna multiply that. Same thing over here. And this is how you find the magnitude. Okay. And if it was just xy, you just take the 2, and that would kind of be like the Pythagorean theorem in a sense. So, finding the third side of a triangle, I guess I should say. Maybe not. Might not be a right triangle. But anywho, I digress. So we say -4 squared plus 6 squared plus 10 squared. I'll put some parentheses in that. All right. So this is our setup. Okay. We have we've done everything we need to do. Now we actually just got to do the math. So, okay, first question, how do you go about multiplying these? So all you do is when you're trying to multiply these, is you just take this one times that one, right? So let's see, what space do we have here? I guess I can push this up now. Yeah, that should work just fine. So if we come here, I'm gonna start back over here. Cosine theta is, okay, so let's tackle the top first. What's 2 times -4? 2 times -4 is -8. Right? And then we add. Bum, bum. 2 times 6 is 12. Bum, bum. And this is just multiplying vectors, right? And 2 times 10 is 20. Bum, bum. Okay, let's tackle the bottom here. 2 times 2 is 4. That's also 4 and so on. So basically down here we have the square root of 12. Square root of 12 multiplied by, this one maybe we should write out. This one might be a little big. Let's see here. Negative 4 squared is 16. Plus 6 squared, which is 36. Plus 10 squared, which is 100. Okay, so now we can kind of do that math in our head. So 100 plus 36 is 136, plus 16 is 152. So I'm just going to draw a little arrow. So we're moving on along. We'll do all our math here. Negative 8 plus 12 is 4, plus 20 is 24. Great. Square root of 12 multiplied by, if you add those up, you get 152. Now we're cooking. Okay, so we're ready to do some math. So when you do this, remember you both are under radicals, so you can just multiply those. So here we go. Cosine theta is 24 divided by 12 times 152 is 1,824. 1,824. And there you go. You know now that cosine theta is 24 divided by the square root of 1,824. So in your calculator, if you use the inverse cosine, right, the inverse cosine button on your calculator and plug all this in, you'll get your answer. If you just divide this, if you just did 24 divided by the square root of 18,024, you're going to get that cosine theta is 0.562. And then if you plug that into your calculator, where's my calculator? Hold on. So let's do this. Let's verify this part first real quick. You know, if you say 24 divided by square root of 1824, there you go. That's where this number comes from right here. Okay, I just went to the thousandth. If you plug in your calculator, what you want to do here is you want to hit second. See how it's the inverse of cosine right there? I'm going to actually go up, and this will give me a more precise answer. If I hit enter, boom, close that parenthesis, boom. You're going to get 55.8. There you go. So we know that the acute angle here is theta would be 55.8 degrees. Voila. Now I'll go back to our original problem here. I'll just go ahead and write in my answer here. Theta, I'm going to write both. I'm going to say, well, I'm going to write cosine theta was 0.562. Therefore, theta is 55.8 degrees. Voila! Good job. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll make another video to link onto this, and we'll do part C together. As always, go ahead and subscribe below if you want to get notified when more Mathity-Math is coming your way, and I'll see you for part C. Thanks for watching. Bye.